Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I closed a $12,700 AI automation deal with a landscaping business. So this is what a real deal looks like. And I wanted to talk about this because I think it's worth documenting in detail. Not because it's a massive number in the context of what's possible, but because of what it represents and what it took to get there. Workflows just closed a $12,700 AI automation project with a Brisbane-based landscaping company, signed, deposited, and in progress. The client is a young team running a fast-growing landscaping business, and they're not waiting around for their industry to catch up. They want to be cutting edge, and they identified early that AI automation was the lever to get their backend running without it eating the owner's time. This doc covers exactly what the deal was, what problems it solved, how it was structured, and what it means in the context of building a B2B AI agency from scratch. This is part of an ongoing series where I'm documenting my cold email campaigns in agency building in real time. If you're new here, my name is Dominic Schwantes. I'm the founder of Workflows, a B2B AI lead generation agency. I document everything I do in real time, the campaigns, the systems, and the results. What you'll find in this document is real, it's not just some theory. So just a little bit about the client. They're a young Brisbane-based team running a landscaping business that was genuinely scaling. 3 client proposals per week with ongoing maintenance scheduling, multiple active construction projects running simultaneously. The ambition was there, but the backend wasn't keeping up. As the business grew, a number of core operational processes remained manual and time intensive, creating bottlenecks across supply ordering, team reporting, financial administration, and maintenance scheduling. Every hour spent on manual admin was an hour not spent on the work that actually grows the business. And that was the problem Workflows was brought in to solve. So the 4 problems we identified. Before building anything, the work started with understanding exactly where the bottlenecks were. 4 areas were identified as priorities and listed in order of ROI. Problem number 1 was supply and material orders. Every supply order required a phone call chain. The team leader calls the office manager to confirm the purchase order, and then the office manager calls the supplier to book the order. From there, the supplier provides a delivery date, and the office manager calls the team leader back to confirm. 4 touch points for a task that should take 30 seconds. Problem number 2 was the team leader daily documentation. There was no standardized reporting process. Information was communicated ad hoc via Word documents and video walkthroughs. Project managers had no consistent visibility into what was done, what wasn't done, whether projects were on track, or whether additional labor was required. Problem number 3 was progress payments, invoicing, and bill processing. Every progress payment, invoice, and bill was handled entirely manually. No system integration, no automation. Every touchpoint required a human to initiate it. And problem number 4 was the GPS maintenance and schedule allocation. Maintenance jobs were scheduled manually with no route optimization. Crews were routing between suburbs inefficiently, wasting time and fuel. Human error meant services were occasionally missed. So the solution was building 4 automation systems. 4 automation systems were designed and built to address each of these problems, integrating with the business's existing tools such as Jotform, Gmail, Airflow CRM, and Xero. Automation number 1 was the supply and material order automation. The phone call chain is replaced entirely. A team leader fills out a Jotform to confirm the purchase order, quantity, and time required. The form is sent directly to the supplier confirms, and the team leader receives a Gmail notification with the delivery time. 4 phone calls became 1 form submission. So automation number 2 is the team leader daily documentation and AI reporting workflow. Team leaders complete a standardized end-of-day checklist covering what was done, what was not done, whether the program is on track, photos and documents, and any other requirements. Claude scans the submission, generates an automatic report to the project manager with photo analysis and descriptions, and flags bottlenecks including whether additional labor is required to stay on track. This turns an inconsistent, unstructured communication process into a systematic daily intelligence feed for whoever is managing the project. Automation number 3 is the progress payments, invoicing, and bill processing. The entire financial flow is automated to the point where the owner only needs to sign off on payments and approve invoices before they enter Xero. This covers incoming bill passing and routing, progress payment triggers from Airflow milestones, contract generation via PandaDoc on job acceptance, and automatic Xero invoice creation on contract signing. The owner goes from spending significant time on financial administration to 2 clicks. And automation number 4 is the GPS maintenance schedule optimization. The system analyzes all maintenance clients and executes efficient daily service runs by grouping. When a maintenance crew runs behind, AI detects the delay, informs the operations manager, receives approval, and notifies the affected clients. Missed services are eliminated and route inefficiency is eliminated. The human error that was costing time and client relationships is removed from the system entirely. So the numbers. The total investment cost across all 4 automations came to $12,700 with a fixed price with no hourly billing. Payment was structured across 3 milestones. A 25% deposit at the project kickoff, 50% on phase 1 completion and sign-off, and 25% on phase 2 completion and sign-off. The client never pays for the next phase until the previous one is live, tested, and approved. So for the delivery timeline, the project was split into 2 phases with the highest ROI automations delivered first. So phase 1 was weeks 1 to 5, with week 1 collecting API access and setting up the job form. Week 2 was making the supply order automation live, and week 3 was internal testing and refinement. Week 4 was making the automation for the invoicing and the payments live, and week 5 was the phase 1 review with the Q&A and the handover. Now phase 2 is week 6 to 10. Week 6 is the phase 2 kickoff with additional API access and briefing. Week 7, the automation for the team leader daily reporting is made live. Week 8 is internal testing and refinement. Week 9, the GPS maintenance routing automation is live. Week 10 is the full Q&A, the staff walkthrough, the documentation, and the handover. The project duration is 10 weeks from the first kickoff to the full handover. So what this deal actually means. Trade businesses are an underserved market for AI automation. Most AI agency content focuses on marketing agencies, coaches, and info product businesses. Those markets are saturated. Every agency owner and their competitor is targeting the same pool of coaches and consultants. Trade businesses are different. Landscaping companies, construction firms, electrical contractors, and plumbers. They're running complex operations with significant manual administration overhead and very little awareness that AI can solve their problems. They're not being approached by AI agencies because most AI agency owners don't think to approach them. The problems this client had are not unique to them. Every landscaping company at this stage of growth has some version of a phone call chain for supply orders. Every construction business has inconsistent team reporting, and every trades business doing volume has manual invoicing eating someone's time. The same full automations built here could be packaged and sold to dozens of similar businesses. The ROI conversion is simple. Asking a business to invest in an automation that eliminates hours of manual work per week from the owner's schedule is not a hard sell. The question isn't whether the price is a lot of money. The question is how long it takes to get that back in recovered time and reduced errors. For a trades business billing at commercial rates, the payback period on the invoicing automation alone is measured in weeks, not months. When the ROI is obvious, the pricing becomes a formality. So the fixed pricing changes the conversation. Every automation in this project was priced as a fixed deliverable. No hourly billing, no ambiguity about what was included or what it would cost. Fixed pricing does two things. It removes the client's anxiety about scope creep running up a bill they didn't expect, and it forces you to define the deliverable clearly before you start, which is exactly the work that makes the project successful anyway. A client who knows exactly what they're buying and exactly what it costs is a much easier client to work with than one who's watching a clock. Proposals win deals. The proposal for this project was a formal document. It included situation analysis, the proposed systems, a delivery timeline with specific milestones, joint accountabilities for both parties, fixed pricing with a clear payment schedule, and terms and conditions. It looked professional because it was professional. That's not a small thing when you're asking someone to trust you with $12,700 and 10 weeks of their business operations. The proposal itself is a deliverable. It demonstrates that you understand the client's problem, that you've thought through how to solve it, and that you're the kind of operator who can actually execute. What I would tell to anyone starting out is that when I started workflows, I was documenting cold email campaigns targeting staffing and recruitment agencies. That's where this channel began. This deal is something a little different. It's an AI automation project for a trades business. It's a $12,700 fixed price with a 10-week delivery. It's a completely different type of engagement. The reason I'm documenting it is because I think most people building agencies like this dramatically underestimate what's possible when they look outside the obvious niches. Coaches and consultants aren't the only businesses with problems worth solving. They're just the most obvious ones. Find a business with a real operational problem. Understand the problem clearly, build the solution properly, price it based on the value it delivers, not based on what you think someone will pay. So that's all I have for you today. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any new videos, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.